What's up, you guys? Welcome back. How are you doing? A lot of change in the air, a lot of intensity. I was adjusting some things behind the scenes. Again, it's like make plans, the universe laughs. I was going in this whole direction, and then I started getting messages about like one-to-one and helping people like in leadership roles and like things like at a higher level. So I decided to just put the Bliss class on hold and focus on some more premium offerings right now. And like I said, helping people in like leadership roles who are entrepreneurs or running businesses or visionaries or creatives, and doing more nuanced work around, you know, when you've hit a certain level of success, like you're making a certain amount of money, for example, and you're still unhappy, like it's not enough. You're burned out. You're like, making 5-figure months, it's not enough. Then you're making 6-figure months, it's not enough. If you've always been in scarcity and you hear that there are people out there making 6 figures a month and they're not happy, it might sound insane to you, but I promise you that's a lot of people. The spiritual industry is changing, the coaching industry is changing. People are wanting more authenticity, and also it's a rat race. There's nothing inherently wrong with making a lot of money. If it runs your life, if you don't understand how to build wealth or build loving relationships skillfully, then we are misperceiving reality. And that's why no matter what we reach, what goal we hit, what milestone, it's insatiable. We reach one thing, we want another thing. We get the partner, now we got to get married. Then we get married, I got to get the house. Then we get the house, I'm still not happy. Or like I said, in business, I make 5 figures, it's not enough. Now I got to make 6 figures. Now I'm making a milli. Now I'm doing this and that, and I'm still unhappy. Why? Right? So it's like a more refined level of mentorship. But whoops, speaking of which, King of Cups flying out there, my friend, my companion on this journey. King of Cups loves to come into the readings. But that's what I'm saying. Like, it is necessary to also support people who are experiencing that, because that's a lot of people, and we need people at higher levels, right, in those leadership roles, and people that are like have a lot of wealth, for example, to be conscious and doing it in a conscious way. And again, what legacy like are we leaving? We need to, right, continue to evolve. So anyways, that's what I'm focused on right now. We'll see what happens. I'm going to keep the King of Cups because he loves to show up here. And who is the King of Cups? The King of Cups is a person who, whether this is you or somebody else, who is very, this could be water energy, Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. Doesn't have to be, though. It's a person who's very intuitive and psychic and emotional and like a lover. Someone who loves really deeply. It is coming in the upright. That feels positive. Let's clarify, why is King of Cups showing up here? We got, this is like your BDE in reverse. This is like, very like a passionate, even sexual energy, like a new beginning, a start, and a movement forward, like an offer, I want to say, or something like that. It's a new beginning, but it's reversed. Why? The cups part is upright, so I feel like the emotional piece might be in more balance, but this taking action part is oh wow. Speaking of taking action, paused. Chariot is, like I said, comes with the sign Cancer in for the major arcana, and it is in the reverse. This is a person that's making a decision on their own terms, taking the wheel, the reins, literally, of the chariot, and moving very rapidly forward. And like I just said, this is a pause, like a lack of movement. It's a non-action. This is blocked for some reason. So I'm going to ask why. Why would you have a desire to do this like passionate new thing or charge forward on something and make a choice, but you're not moving? Why? What's the deal? What's holding whoever this could be, you, or like I said, it could be somebody else. What's holding this person back? I guess this is where the reading's going, so we'll just put those down here. What's holding this person back? Death. Something needs to end. I've been talking about this for a long time. This isn't ending. Something needs to die and be transformed. And so what needs to die here? These are two major arcana cards already. So this is, like I said in the beginning, big changes a brew. What needs to die? What is this about? Ooh. Oh yeah, okay. 3 of Swords in the reverse. This is some type of old heartbreak or betrayal that, I don't know if this is from before, like if this is in the past, that's resurfacing, or if, let's ask, what is this about? Yeah, there's a need to move forward. First of all, it's like you have to let the past go, which I get it. Sometimes when you get triggered or something happens and it activates that old wound, it's really tempting to get sucked into it. I am totally guilty too. It happens sometimes. And, you know, that's why I meditate. I catch myself when I go there and I'm like, what am I doing? Why am I entertaining this old energy, this old thought, this old heartache? Like, why? What purpose does it serve to entertain old narratives? It doesn't. It doesn't mean you don't have to feel your feelings. If you feel sad, okay, you're feeling a little grief. Grief comes in waves. But I guess the point is, this death card is about moving away from that energy, not ignoring it, not bypassing it, not gaslighting yourself into thinking you don't feel it. It's in, look who's, these cards were all like in the correct position, and Queen of Wands just poked right out. So this is that fiery energy, could be fire sign energy, doesn't have to be like Aries, Sag, or Leo, but again, this is a person, feminine or masculine, whatever. It's an energy of somebody who's very like radiant and sexually alive and passionate and, like I said, lit up and expressive and creative. She's coming out, so we'll just put it here. What is this death card about? Let's just elaborate a little bit more. I do feel like it's a combination of like taking, like mentally moving on from that old pain so that something new can start. And yeah, look, sorry, I thought my video stopped again. I'm like, what the F? Okay, this is an emotional offer, a little one. It's like a little baby step. Sometimes this becomes annoying if it keeps happening over and over again, because you might be wanting like a bigger expression to happen. It's almost like when people, or maybe you do, again, if it's happening in your world, it's because you're also withholding or something, because you wouldn't be experiencing it otherwise. You might have to make a bigger offer or open yourself up more and stop making it about the other person. But I just want to say, like, sometimes when people test you, like they keep coming in and giving a little bit and then running away and giving a little bit and then running away, that's a mirror for you to, like, you need to then be actually more available to receive and less I don't know if it's like manipulative, controlling. Like when you try to not get hurt and you're trying to like protect yourself and you keep like shutting down after an opening over and over and over again, in this pattern of like hot and cold and pushing and pulling and playing cat and mouse and kind of like hide and seek is happening emotionally. It does, where it gets annoying, but at the same time you have to take responsibility for where you're doing the same thing, where you shut down when you don't hear what you want to hear, or you withdraw when things don't go your way. I'm saying it because I know from personal experience, to really receive like a big expression of love or a big new beginning of some sort, or more money, whatever the thing is that you're the opportunity. Like you have to be available for it beyond your ego and your fear and the ways that you might like to like I said, shut down, avoid, run away, withhold when it doesn't go the way that you want it to, or where you feel like really exposed and then you're like, I feel so vulnerable right now, I might get hurt. Like those are moments where typically we have to learn how to stay open. We have to learn how to like sustain the discomfort of real vulnerability and deep connection, and then you'll be able to receive a bigger offer. But right now this feels like a baby step. So what else do we need to know? Yeah, something's not growing. It's like you've been waiting and waiting and waiting. 7 weeks, 7 months, 7 years, more, 10 years plus. Like, I don't know. It's been a long time that the harvest hasn't like given you fruit. But part of it is because some old behavior has to die. Some old pattern, like I said, of like, maybe it's like playing the victim. Maybe it's being a martyr and being like, oh, poor me, look at everything I sacrificed to do this thing. But then you know that you don't need to be doing that thing anymore, but playing the victim keeps you in this place where you can like be disempowered and not have to make a new choice. Like, I don't know what it is. You have to know for yourself. You have to figure that out for yourself, but whatever first comes to mind. Okay, let's get one more here. Yeah, look at this. All these cards about moving forward. This is about emotionally moving towards what's going to bring you personally fulfillment. Not everyone around you, not your family, the other people, blah, blah, blah. If there's like people pleasing, or like I said, playing the victim, because it's like, poor me, like, I can't hurt people's feelings. But yet, like, you are still probably hurting your feelings, hurting other people's inadvertently because you're not being honest or authentic or making a choice, right? It's time to just get real here. It's time to let some old behaviors, patterns, emotional patterns, like I said, of withholding or of always feeling like you're the one that's being betrayed. Like, you don't experience the energy of betrayal unless you personally have mental, like, karmic seeds for that to bloom later. Where do you lie to yourself? Where do you withhold the truth from yourself? It may not be that you're lying to the people in your life necessarily overtly, but what do you not want to admit to yourself? What do you choose to not see? You know what I mean? That's how this stuff manifests in our reality. So where do we go from here? What is the advice beyond letting this transformation fully happen? Because it's in the, yeah, look, we're getting a spiritual card, the Hermit in the reverse. You've got to reflect. You've got to take time to really deeply reflect on this, or get someone to help you. That's why I'm a mentor, you know? Like, it's hard to see our own blind spots. It really is. Even when you've been on the path a long time, especially then. Sometimes we get arrogant. We think we know everything. And it's like, even then, we need to take a step back and be like, where do I need to really do some introspection here? What else? Yeah, to stop being manipulative. Like, what do you want to create in your world? You're not going to have to manipulate and be dishonest or deceitful or or try to control everything to receive it. You need to do it, like I said, with skillful means. You need to understand the deeper laws of the universe and how to actually create things in integrity with a clear intention from love. That's where you get a true harvest. If you're getting rotten fruit, it's because you're planting rotten seeds. And that's like a hard pill we have to swallow and clean it up and take ownership, you know? It's so powerful when you're like not playing victim anymore about anything. You're just like, I see this shit happening. I don't like it, but I also know if I'm responsible that I can do something about it. I can change it. So these are a lot of, like I said, major arcana. We've got Chariot, Death, Hermit, Magician. What else? Look at this anxiety. Again, it's only scary when you're ignoring your intuition and ignoring the signs and ignoring what's so obvious under your nose and pretending like it's not there. You're only kidding yourself. You can't, like I said, play God and outwit the universe. It's like things are happening, best to take off the rose-colored glasses or the blinders or whatever it is and really look at what's going on here that isn't serving you anymore, that needs to die. Woo! Ten of Swords. Speaking of death, it's the next card right after the Nine of Swords is the Ten of Swords. But it's reversed. It's because you're not letting something come to a full conclusion. It feels to me very much here like something needs to end. I'm going to get a couple of oracle cards. Yeah, look at Justice under the deck. There needs to be a balancing of the scales here, but it's almost like you're in your own way. Like you're the thing that's holding it up, because it's not that you're not where you need to be. It's that to integrate this lesson, you're going to have to move on from something for sure. Mentally, emotionally, you're going to have to let something go. I don't know what that means for you, but these two cards are both about moving on. It does feel kind of like you need to let the past go. Like if you, I don't know, let's use an example. Let's say like in relationships that you were always with people that lied to you or cheated on you or something, which is so common. And then you just make assumptions that every person in the future is going to cheat on you. Every person is a liar. There are no good women out there, or no good men out there. That's a story. That's just a narrative based on your previous experience, your own limiting beliefs. It's not the highest truth. But if you carry that narrative with you wherever you go, then you're going to keep repeating it. Which is why it's so important, like I said, to have a mindfulness practice and or mentors and people that can help you get past this shit, because you will continue to create that reality if that's what you hold on to. And that's why I feel like it's so important to move, because both these cards are moving away from that. And like I said, seeing that it's in the past, or excuse me, that it's reversed, this Three of Swords, it feels old. It doesn't feel like it's a fresh heartache. It feels like it's old grief that you're like carrying with you as your cross to bear. Like, oh my God, it's so hard out here because everyone's a liar and everyone betrays me, and see, and then you can reinforce like, oh, see, that's why I'm not worthy of love. That's why nothing good happens for me. That's why I always attract this shit. You guys, it's all stories. So let's get some oracle cards here. Like, it feels to me like it's time to rewrite the narrative. It's like time to rewrite this in a much more empowering way, in a more, in a way where you're holding yourself personally responsible so that you can move forward on the thing that you actually want. You know what you want, but you're like, almost like you're cock blocking yourself. So, or whatever, switch the term. You know what I mean? You're like you're like the thing that's in the way of the manifestation. So it's like you're trying to protect yourself from getting hurt, but you can't like protect yourself from getting hurt with these old stories and then get the thing you want. It doesn't work like that. Okay, so yeah, look at this. With King of Cups and this Ace of Wands Chariot reversed, we're getting Lilith reversed. She's a badass. It says, the first woman. I am the voice of my body and soul. I choose the life I want to live, but it's reversed. Because you're not choosing the life you want to live. You're choosing the path that feels easier, or the path of less resistance, or the path that feels more comfortable. But it's not what you really want. What you really want is, you've got to go through a lesson first to get to it. And you're not going to get there by manipulating, avoiding your intuition and ignoring it, and getting caught up in analysis paralysis and anxiety and fear and insecurity. That's not the way. Those things might arise as you're moving through this lesson, but to have the life you want to live, you have to choose it. It's not, or if you don't choose it, the choice will be made for you, and it won't be what you actually want. It'll be something else, you know what I mean? It'll be like, it's like, if you keep saying you want this particular job and it's like a promotion, but you never apply for it, and then you wait too long and somebody else gets the job. Or there's somebody that you want to be with romantically, but you keep blocking it and you're not taking action, you're not doing the thing, or you're not leaving something else, or you're not letting something end, and then you blink and the person's moved on and they're dating somebody else. Like, if you sit on the fence for too long, things are going to change, and they will probably not change in your favor, which is why it's so, like, again, I don't believe we're going to miss what's meant for us, but I do believe that we're going to get some rude awakening sometimes, or a wake-up call through a sudden, unexpected plot twist or a loss or whatever, if we're resisting the lesson, because it's like what we resist persists, so we have to be proactive. And if we're not, then it's going to come, that lesson will come in some other form to get our attention. So in the second section, we're getting Bridget, the goddess of the eternal flame. I am the eternal flame, and each day my light grows brighter. That really feels like going towards, it's like moving in the direction of what feels lighter. It's like, that's what I'm feeling here. The heaviness is in the past, and it's like you really have to let it be there. Let it go. Let it stay back there. I know how tempting it is. I have a Scorpio moon. I'm drama. I like to be dramatic. I can feel very like I really sometimes want to hook into that pain story, and I catch myself doing it. And I'm like, why am I doing this? Like, it's not serving me. It's not getting me the things that I want in my life, and yet it's so tempting to get into the suffering sometimes and feel like, I just want to like wallow in my victimhood and how people do me so wrong and they do me so dirty. And I'm just like, it doesn't mean that hasn't happened. It just means, why am I reinforcing that, right? So let's call ourselves out on our own bullshit. I love to do that for myself. And sometimes we need a truth bomb. All right, what else? Let's get one more there. Yeah. I love this one. It's Akhilanda, the goddess of never not broken. It says, everything happens for my liberation. I choose to become only more love. It's like that saying, the wound is where the light gets in, or the other saying is like, your heart isn't breaking, it's breaking open so that you can actually love even more and receive more love. But it's like the walls have to break down, the illusions, the things that we hook onto from our ego, thinking that create blockages, you know? Your heart wants to be more open. It's not breaking. Change the narrative. It's breaking open. Everything's happening for your liberation, it says. So any difficulty, challenge, pain, whatever it is that's happening, it's happening for you. It's not happening to you. The universe is not out to get you. You know, other people are not more lucky than you. It's like, this is happening to free you from an old behavior, an old pattern, something that's blocking the thing you really want, whether it is a relationship or a new opportunity or a new job, whatever, it doesn't matter. So let's see in this final section, we're getting Kuan Yin, the goddess of compassion. I'm not really surprised. It says, I recognize suffering in order to release it. Curiosity breeds compassion. get one more with her. Yeah, the Black Madonna, another one about transforming suffering. I transform pain and suffering into a capacity, greater capacity to love. So interesting. Have you guys heard the term no mud, no lotus? It's really like a Thich Nhat Hanh made that famous, I think, and he was a Zen Buddhist monk. By the way, under the deck is the Mistress of the Labyrinth, and it says the only way out is through. You're not avoiding this lesson. It's here. You can either learn it or extend it, but you're going to learn it somehow. Or it will just keep haunting you, and things just progressively get worse because what we resist will persist, especially on the spiritual path. There are some of us that just, you're not getting out of it. You're going to have to go through it. 2 cards about transforming suffering in order to release it, in order to love greater. And so I love that saying because lotus flowers grow in really shitty, stanky mud water. And this beautiful flower emerges, but has to work its way through the mud. And the mud in Buddhism is all of the suffering and the pain that we have to transform and transmute in order to love and experience boundless compassion, boundless love that has no limit. That's the goal, that's what we're going for. But there is no way really in the human experience to become enlightened or to learn how to love if we don't experience the contrast, the pain. The first law in Buddhism is life is suffering, but there's a path out, but there is a way forward. Pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. We don't have to choose to hook into that story. That's why I have that mantra lately is like because I am human, so I get angry too. I get mad, I get sad, I get all kinds of things. I hook into old stories sometimes and I get off on it. And then I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Why am I doing that? That's not going to bring me the result I want. Every cause brings a result. Therefore, what causes am I creating? What seeds am I planting in my mind? Why am I hooking into a story that's going to create more suffering down the road? For what? Because I need to feel something today? Do you know what I mean? We just have to be aware. So I'm just going to cut the deck. Okay, interesting. We're getting Ananda Mahi Ma, the joy permeated mother. I am my own guru. I can't read, you guys, sorry. I know the self that never changes. This is like your highest, this is like your Buddha nature. This is like the part of you that is so connected with love and deeper knowing. It's like this. It's like saying, any pain and suffering that I'm experiencing right now is here to free me. It's actually here to free my mind. I can't know love if I don't know suffering. Like, how would I know the difference? And so all we need to do is to learn how to let that joy permeate our entire being. The song that I listen to that really helps me, in fact, I was listening to it last night, is this track that, let me just check the time, that this band made, and they put Ram Dass, the spiritual teacher, speaking on top of it over the music, and it's so beautiful, and it's called Sit, let me just check, I think it's called Sit by the Fire. And I actually put a little lotus blossom on the playlist. Where is it? Let's see. It's called Sit Around the Fire, and the author or the artist is John with no H, Jon Hopkins, and then Ram Dass and East Forest is the band. So anyway, it's about 8 minutes, and it's Ram Dass talking. I won't ruin it. You can go listen to it if you want to. But yeah, I have it on the list. It's called No Mud. You can't probably read that, but it says No Mud, No Lotus. Because that is where I have to remember too. We're all, like I said, on this journey together. Nobody's doing it perfectly, but the pain and the suffering and the things that murkiness, that mud, is what we've got to learn how to move through in order to experience the joy. And my word of the year actually is joy. That's why I was smiling when I saw that, because I have to stay connected with that. But my Scorpio moon loves darkness and pain, and I have to check myself before I wreck myself. So that's the reading, you guys. It's happening for you, not to you. It's happening for you to free yourself of an old story so that you can actually receive the blessing, the beauty, the thing that you want. Like I said, the love, the job. It's just oh my God. I just want to pull one oracle card to finish from this deck. And since those fell, those are not the ones. We'll pick this one. Wow, come home to yourself. Wasn't there a card in here about home? Or was that the reading that got deleted? Interesting. Okay, it says, Dearest one, you've been gone so long, wandering far outside of yourself, looking for something, someone to lighten your load, to feed you, clothe you, tell you just how many years they've waited for you to journey their way, how tired your feet grow, how heavy your heart, and yet you still wander. Interesting. But if you get quiet and still in meditation, wow, you hear me calling from inside your heart, calling from deep between your ears and at the bottom of your belly, whispering, I'm right here and I have everything I need. Telling you to stop searching out there, to come home to yourself. Wow. That's literally what that song is about. That Ram Dass song that I was telling you, or it's more of like a hymn talking. It's to stop searching out there. It's like I said, why I created this new offering for leaders, like to stop searching. The happiness, the security and stuff is not coming from the $1 million or the partner. It doesn't mean you can't enjoy those things. It means if you attach meaning and you think that your happiness and security comes from out there, you're powerless, because what happens when it leaves? What happens when it ends? What happens when it falls apart? Then what? Right? That's why we've got to understand, if we want to create real joy, we've got to do it from the inside. We have to free our mind from all these illusions, and these attachments that create pain. So that's really beautiful. I'll leave you guys with that. If you do want a reading, I've still got the links open for those below, and that's it. And then I've just got this catalyst session, 90 minutes, like I said, a premium offer, and then a 6 months mentorship. And that's all I'm doing right now. So, but I will continue to show up here on YouTube, because I do love to make these videos for you guys and connect here. So I'm sending you guys so much love. Keep the faith, and if you need support, book a reading. I will see you guys on the next one.